Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 22 of the Everything Motor Racing podcast. I hope you've had a great week. I mean, we've not been in your lives, so it's probably been terrible, but at least we've had some decent racing and some drama. Some MotoGP drama. Where else in the world could you go to get drama like this, eh? It's just MotoGP. It's always dramatic. We love it. But yes, once again, I'm joined by my host, Jacob Ward.
What's happening, guys? Back again.
And yes, hello. And then once again, we haven't got Gary Lee because he's at bloody Donington Park. So
I know, he's just we're just gonna have to put him on a 0-hour contract.
Yeah, he's not getting paid anyway, so we might have to start invoicing him for time lost.
Yeah, you gotta pay us.
Yeah, he's gonna pay us every time he's not on here. He said it to me, right? He messaged me. He's like, "Oh, when I get in, I'm going home. That's not good enough, mate. This podcast comes before everything."
Yeah, I bet he did. Yeah.
Nah, it's all good.
He didn't,
all
did
good.
he? Unlike to our
He
lovely
did.
listeners, he just said, "Oh, I don't even want to be on this podcast. Fuck everybody."
Yeah, it's freaking crap, this podcast, mate. All you do is talk about dicks.
I was all maybe gloss over that this time. So
Strange week and last podcast. Strange podcast. But very good. But anyway, yeah, we've had some mental. Like, I genuinely think that's probably one of the best MotoGP races I've ever seen, ever.
I think.
I don't know about you, but
No, I'd agree. I think from the Thursday to the Sunday, it's just been a whirlwind of just nothingness, haven't it?
freaking chaos.
Like,
And like,
literally, as soon as the Maverick news come out on Thursday, it's just like as if someone's just got a firework and just lit it and pointed it at everybody.
yeah, because like, I mean, was it Thursday night? I think you and I were playing a video game and then the news dropped and we literally were like too stunned to continue, like about the Petronas news. Too stunned to continue, like, nah, we're gonna go, what the hell?
Yeah, I just pulled over on the side of the track and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. This is more
screw
important.
Oh mate, it was absolutely nuts. So obviously we'll go into the first bit. Jacob, don't be too harsh because I know what you're like with things.
No, I won't.
But obviously Maverick Vinales has been, was, because we are now talking in the past tense, was suspended by Yamaha for the Austrian Grand Prix. Can't get those mixed up with the Styrian Grand Prix, you know, just so that Crash.net's little statistic can stay valid for Ducati. Well, actually not anymore, but anyway.
Other websites are available.
Yeah, well, especially Everything Motor Racing. That's the only website you should be going to. But anywho, yeah, Maverick Vinales was excluded from the Grand Prix for, now that we've seen the proof, over-revving his motorbike on purpose. Literally, like, sitting on the limiter and not switching up gears.
Like, it's not so much. I've had, as you can imagine, I've had quite a few messages from various people, as you have as well.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people were saying to me that they think it's a bit harsh that he was suspended. But I disagree with that. And the reason I disagree is simply because it's not so much about the fact that he didn't blow his engine, didn't hurt anyone. It's the action of doing so.
It's the intent.
Yeah, like, you know, like, I know it's not the same, but it's a good example. You can get done for attempted murder. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like it's just complete stupidity, because if he did pop something on that bike, smash oil all over the floor, you're endangering your fellow riders then, and that's just exactly. Not good enough.
No, it's not. I mean, obviously it is a game of ifs and buts, and it could have been worse than what it was. Thankfully it wasn't. But the fact that he went in there with intent to try and destroy his engine for whatever reason, you know, it's mental. You know, he's on these interviews now after, you know, and he was like, "I'm so sorry, Yamaha," and all that. But it's like, you're only sorry because of the consequences. That's what it seems like. You know, when he's in that mood of like, screw the world, whatever, I'm going to just destroy my engine for the sake of destroying my engine. You know, it just feels like he's kind of invincible. It's like he's got this switch inside his head, and when he's on, it's turned on. He's just mental, whether he's winning races or just freaking off the rails.
Yeah, do you know, I want to read out I told him I would. I want to read out a message from Matthew Thompson.
Oh, God.
He said to me, literally, he put it, hang on, I'm just finding it.
Oh, God.
I said this is going to be. It might be a bit of a long pod because we got to unpack Maverick and Petronas. He said, "Oh, that's a quick one. I'll help you out. Mav's finally leaked out all the mush in between his ears. Yamaha's going to can him. The end."
Oh God!
There we go. On to the next one.
Oh my God!
But there's only so much you can defend him. This isn't an isolated incident. It's too much now. It's just one thing to if you're unhappy and you don't want to finish the race, pull in. Don't endanger everyone else. Don't just bounce your bike off the limiter for the sake of bouncing your bike off. The limiter's there to prevent bike damage, obviously, but there's only so much it can work. And if you're on the limiter as much as he was, not shifting up to 6 on one of the fastest straights on the track. Nah, man.
Bonkers, isn't it?
I'm trying not to be too harsh on him, but that is just. I've had various messages where people saying, "Oh, you shouldn't call him an idiot. He's obviously not. He's obviously suffering with his head. Blah blah blah." That doesn't excuse idiot moves. Yes, he is suffering, and obviously he does need some help, as we've said previously. But that's still a very idiot. It's just an idiot move, and I'm perfectly within my rights to say that's an idiot move.
Yeah, because it literally just seems like he's pretty much off the rails at the moment, And when he goes bad, he just, and there's rumours, obviously in the media, Spanish media, it's not confirmed, but the rumours are that his entourage destroyed his paddock scooter on the Sunday night after the race, And if that's true,
apparently they kicked the fuck out of it, didn't they?
Yeah, well, no, they set it on fire, mate. That's what the rumour is. They set it on fire.
Yeah, they apparently kicked the living shit out of it, so every panel was dented, from what I've gathered, and then torched it by dropping a lit match into the fuel tank.
Mental, isn't it?
Unconfirmed, but I mean, if hearing it from a couple of bits and bobs, then obvious, it's unconfirmed, but it's true, isn't it?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, Yamaha don't want to be.
They don't suspend you for anything. At the end of the day, it's not just. This isn't the first time he's had to apologise to Yamaha, even this season. And I just don't understand what's. Well, I don't think anything's going through his head when he does it. I think he just gets the Fanati red mist on.
Yeah, he just sees red and just.
Yeah.
He kind of he likes to do things and not think of the consequences. Back in 2012 when he kind of walked out his Moto3 team, he genuinely could have ended his career at that point. That could have genuinely been the end of his career, but he got a ride with the Calvo team and won the championship next year. And he did turn his career around, but it just seems like when it's not going good for Vinales, it's just the end of the world, and he can't think about anything else apart from sabotaging his entire life.
I think the problem is that he's getting guidance from his father, who is equally as much of an idiot. He's just an idiot. That was my dad. I would just be saying, look, do me a favour, fuck off. Let me deal with it myself. Don't be giving me all this really poor advice that you have.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I don't know, his father is definitely going to be an influence on him.
More than people realise, I think. Especially Matt, he's very. You can see, for all his faults, he's fiercely loyal.
Yeah,
and I think that's playing against him right now.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, his father went on social media after the Styrian Grand Prix and basically said, it's a farce. Yamaha sabotaging our bike, not giving us the same bike. But at the end of the day, right, if you're Yamaha, you've got one rider winning or on the podium in pretty much every race. And you've got another guy who's up and down like a frigging roller coaster. Of course you're going to, prioritise the guy who's going to potentially win the championship for you. Maverick's been on the bike for 4 years and hasn't taken home a title or been anywhere remotely close. Third place, but then the gap to markers has always been ridiculous. Whereas Fabio Quartararo has hopped in MotoGP, battled for the title all year long last year before he had a mental breakdown, and is now the strongest rider we've ever seen, from the strongest version of himself that we've ever seen this year.
Yeah.
That literally looked untouchable.
Yeah, the problem.
Fabio Quartararo.
The problem Maverick's got now is that what he wants to be is next to him, and is frying him. Like,
It is.
I thought something was up when the Vinales team announced that they were splitting from Yamaha in the 300s.
Yeah, that was strange, that.
Looking at it now, obviously it was a bit of a giveaway that there were a lot of problems behind the scenes. And it was obviously just a precursor to what's happened this weekend.
Yeah.
I don't think Maverick would have been anywhere today with the conditions, which we'll get on to. So maybe it was a good thing that he didn't race. But my God, man, it's just there's only so much that everyone has a breaking point. Maverick's hit his, and Yamaha are about to hit theirs. Like Mario Merigalio said, we appreciate the apology, but it changes nothing. That says to me he will never ride a Yamaha bike again.
Yeah, that's the thing for me. And, the rumours are now, obviously there are rumours, that Cal Crutchlow will ride the factory Yamaha at Silverstone next to Fabio Quartararo, which would be good for Cal to finally be on a decent bike instead of that shitty 2019 bike. And Jake Dixon will make his MotoGP debut at Silverstone, unfortunately on the 2019 bike, so the crowd that are hating against Jake Dixon will continue to hate against him when he doesn't win the race because he's on a 2-year-old bike. But, that's the rumour, and if that's true, there's also a rumour, to extend on that Xavi Vierge will race at Aragon for the Petronas team, which again would mean Cal in place of Vinales.
Yeah, you know what that is, though, don't you? It's an audition for both the Petronas boys.
Yeah, that is exactly. And the thing is, now it's a perfect kind of conditions for that. But it does mean it's pointing to Vinales being out, and
then of course what I imagine is going to happen, Misano.
Yeah,
I think Morbidelli will be on the factory bike. It'll all be confirmed.
That's the tricky thing, because there's the rule where when you race a bike, you can't have a change mid-season. But we've seen riders do it. Javier Simeon a few years ago changed between the, I don't know what it was GP something. I think he changed between the GP16 up to the GP17 for a round because his teammate was out.
That's it, when Abraham got injured.
Yeah, and so it can be done, and it has been done.
The only thing he would have to do would be to take Vinales' engine allocation.
Yeah,
so maybe
that's
the other thing Maverick was thinking was, if I'm, if I blow this engine up, if I get done, that's one less engine for my replacement.
Yeah, which if that's the case, then that's literally terrible. The thing is, right, obviously we know that obviously Yamaha are Japanese, and these Japanese people, they're proud of what they do. They're very proud of their work. They're very...
Yes.
I don't know how to phrase this best.
It's honour.
Yes, it's all about honour at the end of the day. And Yamaha, they take pride in what they do, and there's literally thousands of people working on this motorbike back in Japan to make it the best thing possible, And so for Maverick Vinales to go and literally basically spit in their faces and go and basically try and destroy their work is a massive insult.
Yeah, there was a story of who, I was being told this week by a friend of mine. I've got friends deal with it. But basically, he was saying that it's obviously gone around social media. But do you remember when I can't remember who it was on the Suzuki 250 tried to blow it up after he got third?
John
Kaczynski, that's it. Thank you. Yes, his name escaped me. Obviously, he completely blew the engine up, got instantly sacked. But he was telling me he was in the paddock at the time, and he was at this in the Suzuki garage, outside of it when they wheeled it in, and apparently all the Japanese people were crying.
Jeez.
Literally crying because he had blown up their work. And when one of them came out to speak to the media, he literally all he did was just look really sad and said, he ruined our bike.
Yeah, I heard a quote of somebody saying that John basically, the mechanic said that they've murdered our machine.
He literally came out in tears and said he's ruined our bike, and that's the Japanese mentality.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, they bloody work hard over in Japan for these bikes to make sure these, unfortunately, some spoiled, egotistical, fucking childish riders can just go in and basically act like a petulant child when they're not getting what they want.
I'm very disappointed in Maverick. It's not even angry, it's just like genuinely just disappointment. Like, this is a man who's probably one of the biggest talents in MotoGP at the minute.
One of the most naturally talented riders we've ever seen.
Yeah, but a complete idiot move.
He's a hothead. That's what he is.
It's not even so much a hothead as much as like a wrong head. Like, he doesn't have the correct head screwed on it to be a top level professional race bike rider. He just doesn't.
No, and we've said it many times before that, he needs to have a break. You said it specifically. He needs to have a few months off, a few races off, and just compose himself and just sit down with the professional and just work his issues out. Because this man, I know that I've tried to talk about his mental health so many times and I've get shot down, laughed at, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's quite clear that this is pretty much like a call for help, if anything. It's Maverick Vinales going, I'm not all right, but he doesn't know how to say that he's not all right. And so he just does these reckless things because that's his way of kind of, I don't know.
No,
it's just basically his way of calling for help, and
yeah,
it is a cry for help at the end of the day.
Like, I think Yamaha are actually doing the best thing for him if they continue to keep him suspended.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think they should sack him, because then Aprilia could go and pick him up. So suspension, which means he can't ride for anyone else. He's still a Yamaha employee until the end of the season, because they've got grounds for it.
Yeah, they could sack him on gross misconduct tomorrow.
Yeah, like, just keep him suspended rather than sacking him. Don't let him race. Just let him go home, get himself back together, and then he can come back a different man if he chooses to go to Aprilia. Because Aprilia, let's be real, Aprilia are probably the only ones crazy enough to take him on now after this.
Yeah, and unfortunately it does, I don't want to disrespect Aprilia, but it does come from a place of desperation. They need results, and a free agent such as Maverick Vinales being on the cards, snap him up, Yeah, they need the results.
We've seen Aprilia's decisions on riders previously that, they're a bit off the chain, so...
Yeah, Aprilia...
I don't know. I don't know where he goes from here, to be honest. I wouldn't want to see him on a Yamaha again if I was a Yamaha employee, put it that way. Like, if I was one of his mechanics or one of his team members now, I'd be saying to Yamaha, I don't want to work with this guy. He tried to fuck up our machine.
Yamaha Japan are on a summer break because apparently, right, just to go off topic a little bit, I've learned, we live in the UK, that countries such as Italy and all that give their employees like 4 weeks off in summer. I didn't know that. And so Yamaha Japan are on a bloody 4 week or whatever summer break, and so they can't make a decision yet on it.
Yeah, the only ones who get less time off than the UK is the USA. Apparently they're not even entitled to any time off.
Jesus, that's mental, isn't it? Yeah, screw that. But going back on topic, the Yamaha can't make a proper decision on what Maverick Vinales will do until Yamaha Japan can step in, because Yamaha Europe have suspended him. They've got the power to suspend him, but Yamaha Japan are the big guns, the ones with the contracts, with the towers full of lawyers and legal representatives who can...
They're based in Iwata, so they are the ones who are the big ones. But yeah,
they can knock him out of contract.
That's why I believe that the Silverstone rumours are true, because it still falls under the summer break, and Yamaha Europe have no option but to keep the suspension for me.
Yeah, they don't want him riding their bike at the end of the day. If he's going to do that, he's apologised, which is great. But at the end of the day, if he hadn't been caught, if if, for example, the engine thing didn't happen, or no one spotted the engine thing, they didn't check the data, whatever, for whatever reason, it just went under the radar, I can guarantee you to try it again this weekend. He's only sorry because he got caught.
Unless you did well, in which case he'd be like, yeah, I love this bike.
Yeah, because you got to remember last weekend...
I think he wanted to be caught. That's the problem.
Maybe so, yeah. Because, you got to remember last weekend he was running, battling for the front positions before the restart, and then something happened on the grid. I think he stalled it, and then he just fell apart.
Tried claiming it was a bike problem. Yamaha found nothing. So he tried to create the bike problem.
Yeah. It's just literally...
Yeah, it's stupid, man. It's between the plethora of onboard cameras, people trackside, and data, he knew he was going to get caught. Yeah,
absolutely, at the end of the day. And if he's trying to force an issue like that, it clearly points to some genuine source of mental illness, because there's no way that someone sane is thinking like that.
No, he's not right. Like, even, like, I used to, like, as I've said previously, I used to race. Even if I had the worst race of my life, I never ever tried to do anything. Like, I remember I had a race once at Hawkstone, and my front wheel bent. I didn't then rev the tits off my bike to blow it up while I was still going round. I pulled off the track, pushed it back, and my bike was fine. Like, that's all he needed to do. Like, quite literally, that's all he needed to do was pull off. If he wasn't in a good headspace, pull off. People would, and if he just been straight up with his team and said, "Look, my head went, I was in danger, I didn't want to continue because I didn't feel safe," they would have accepted that and probably helped him till the cows come home. But to do what he did is just a big middle finger to everyone involved in the MotoGP paddock.
Yeah, literally, like, everyone who works their arse off, like Cal Crutchlow and all that as well. You know, Cal's helped to develop that bike and worked hard on that thing, and Vinales just basically spitting on the work of all these people, and it's genuinely sad to see at the end of the day. But
yeah, it is. I think it's quite telling that none of the fellow riders have attacked him for it, because they know he's not right.
Yeah, because Fabio's kind of been very, I don't know, he's just not really, he's chosen his words very carefully about the situation, Fabio has. And I think Rossi spoke a little bit against it, you know, and said he was disappointed by it.
Oh, they're only human as well. You know what I mean? They are going to be disappointed, but I think they don't want to attack him further because they know he's already down.
Yeah, but the thing is, like,
that's the reason I don't want to do it. Like, he's not going to listen to it, but, you know,
no,
it's still quite unfair to attack a man who's at rock bottom. Like, he knows he's fucked up. But it's still something that does need addressing. It's that simple. Like, you can't just let him get away with it on the grounds of mental health.
No, you can't, because at the end of the day, if he's not mentally sane and not mentally well, then get him out. Don't let him ride, you know.
This suspension, honestly, I think is a half kindness of...
it's good.
Yeah, sort yourself out, as well as, like, sending a message that it's not going to be tolerated. I think it was the right thing to do. Yeah,
it's genuinely, I think, a good thing for him rather than a bad thing for him. So moving on to the other bombshell news, Petronas sponsor, I just want to add, because some people are getting really confused. Well, the Petronas sponsor are splitting from the Sepang International Circuit race team, aka SRT, and the Petronas team. So Petronas SRT, it'll now be SRT, and they're losing their Moto2 and Moto3 teams as well.
Yeah, been told various bits and bobs, but the one I believe is from a source that I trust, and they've said that apparently the Moto2 and Moto3 teams are indeed gone, and Stiggy has told them they have to look elsewhere. Yeah,
which sucks, given that they'd already signed a Moto3 rider. I don't know where else to talk about, so I'll say they've signed a Moto3 rider and now he's left out of a ride, which sucks. But the thing is that...
Maybe not. That's my thinking is... Because, like we might as well just say it now.
No, don't say it.
No? Well, just basically, because of who he is, I think he will get backing from the SRT side, the Sepang side.
Yeah.
Like,
his passport will aid him.
Painful, quite not being able to say it, but I think he won't have any Petronas back in.
No,
but he'll certainly have Sepang International Circuit back in.
Yeah, and I mean, the amount of people I've spoken to have basically said that Petronas are famous for just pulling out from sponsors. You know, Styrian obviously split with them quite amicably a few years ago. They're not fans of each other anymore. And so, despite everybody going, put Styrian on the Petronas bike, mate, no, they don't like each other. But, you know, so, you know, there probably will be another massive Malaysian sponsor that will come in because it's MotoGP at the end of the day. I don't know if it's collateral following from, you know, Valentino Rossi's retirement. So they're like, we're not going to get the same return on investment. You know, the only reason they're pretty much still in F1, apparently, this is what I've been told, is obviously because Lewis is still winning championships. If Verstappen wins a title this year, maybe things could change. But apparently, basically, yeah, they are not getting the same return on investment that they thought they were getting. They managed to get a seat and get in the media with Valentino Rossi on their bike, so they're winning.
I've heard slightly different. I've heard that they're actually going to be pulling out of F1 also.
Jeez.
Which says to me money problems.
Yeah, it could be, yeah. Well, money, everyone, because they're an oil company, they provide like the lubricants and stuff like that, but with everything going a bit more electric side and hybrids, for example, maybe it's damaging their profits. Because they supply the fuel for Moto2 class, for example.
Yeah, but basically, as you've said, it'll be at Sepang International Circuit Yamaha or SRT Sepang Race Team Yamaha. Don't know what it'll be labelled as exactly yet.
Yeah.
They'll have two 2022 bikes, but they'll be B-spec.
Yeah, so which is basically what Fabio raced, isn't it?
No, because Fabio's was still 2018. It was a year old at the time as well. This will be current, but they won't get, from what I gather, they'll be current year, but the updates will come much later. A la Tech 3 KTM and Factory KTM. So, I don't know. The rumours, of course, are that we're going to get a Moto3 rider going straight up in Darren Binder.
Darren Binder, yeah.
But I don't know if that's going to happen. No, Petronas have pulled out. Because he's a Petronas rider, not an SRT rider.
No, because he still rides for the Petronas SRT team in Moto3, doesn't he?
Yeah, but what I mean is apparently Petronas money brought him in, not Sepang Racing Team money.
Yeah, but obviously he still works with Stiggy and Razlan Razali, and if them two like him, they'll pull him up regardless of who he races for, and Yamaha, if they have an interest in him, then they'll pull him up. But yeah, it's interesting to see, because if they do pull out Moto2 and Moto3, then it leaves obviously John McPhee, Vierge, who was apparently looking at another place to ride anyway, and then Jake Dixon all out of rides, which is pretty sad, regardless of your views on them, because I know you're not the biggest fan of John McPhee. It's still sad regardless.
The thing is, I don't think McPhee was going to stay with Petronas if he did win Moto2 anyway.
It was confirmed that they were going to get two new Moto3 riders anyway, so by the team. So
yeah, but what I mean is, if he went up, I don't think it would be with Petronas. I think it would have been with another squad.
Yeah, like MV again or something.
Yeah, something like that. So I don't think he would have remained with Petronas either way. But Dixon, yes, he would have. And obviously, if they'd stayed in Moto2, you imagine Darren Binder would have had one of those seats.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be, because that was the rumours. The rumours were that not Danny Kent. Sorry, someone's just mentioned Danny Kent to me.
Oh God, I hate that guy.
Well, he's been injured. Just to go on a completely side thing, he's dislocated his hip.
Probably the knife he had in his pocket. Fucking idiot.
But yeah, like the news was that Darren Binder was going to go to Moto2 instead of, but then obviously now this has happened and they're all pipping him to go to MotoGP alongside Iker Corona, which I'm quite happy about if that comes true, because mate, I've been absolutely gutted to see Iker Corona, and he's done well today, P6.
Oh, spoiler.
Oh, mate, we're listening to podcasts about races.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, spoiler. But
you've got to wait till Monday before you do anything, because I want to watch it.
Someone literally said that to me earlier today. They're like, can you put a 24-hour delay on this? No, I can't, mate. Go away, man.
Oh, imagine saying to someone who is for MotoGP news, can you wait 24 hours before putting on the news?
Yeah.
What a fucking spacker.
Yeah, they were like, they even said in their comment, they were like, oh, I did go on Facebook, but it's for something else. I'm like, and freaking what? Why do I have to wait for you, Mr. fucking Simon, whatever your name is, mate?
Name dropped. Fuck you, bitch.
I don't even know if his name is Simon. I just dropped the name of somebody I don't like, so it's fine.
My name's Jeff.
But, at the end of the day, where the hell were we? Yeah, Darren Binder.
Yeah,
and
I think he'd be a good signing.
Could be a hot team in MotoGP. Both of them pretty talented, and the Corona deserves a MotoGP seat, I would say.
My
he's only 21.
My only concern is the Yam, though.
Well, the thing is, I think the Yam could be good for him, because he spent 2 years on a KTM, which he struggled on, because it's a KTM and it's not really a rookie bike and it demands a certain kind of rider to race it. Put on a Yamaha, which is really friendly. Yes, it'd be a B-Spec 22, but if Fabio Quartararo can get either 7 or 9 podiums on a year-old B-Spec bike, then I have no issues.
The thing is, Lecona is only known KTM for the past 4 seasons. Like, that's basically 3/4 of his entire MotoGP career.
Yeah.
And it's been on KTM. It will take some adjustment, and
of course it will.
I would hope if Darren Binder and Lecona both go up to SRT, I would hope it would be on a 2 or 3 year deal to give them time.
I think it'd be a 2-year deal, honestly. If it happens, it would definitely, like for Binder, definitely, because he would need that security that he'd have multiple years on a contract. If he's not going to go up on a 1-year deal, because that could be career suicide. The Corona has offers from World Superbikes, including rumoured to be Honda in World Superbikes, so he has an option there. But if he wants to stay in MotoGP, which I'm sure he'd rather do, he'd want multiple years on a contract.
Yeah, and I'd hope they both get 2 years, because hilariously, Lecona's younger than Binder.
Yeah, he is, which is mad.
It's just, I just don't see why Petronas are pulling out, though, because MotoGP is in the best place it's ever been.
Yeah, it's incredible.
In terms of exposure, in terms of quality, in terms of everything. I don't... Their brand is getting out there, especially with Rossi now.
Yeah.
But, Petronas existed before Rossi. They would exist after him.
Yeah, they've existed for years, They've been around forever, but they just kind of dip in and out of products when they need to. It's a weird operation they've got going there at Petronas, but it's just a shame that, it's a Malaysian team and it's a Malaysian sponsor and they're not even supporting their own, which kind of sucks, if I'm honest,
Yeah. But who do they support? Because there's literally only one who's of any note who's coming through, and that's Asman in the CEV.
Yeah, who races for the Sepang International Circuit team anyway.
Yeah, Monlau Garage, but Sepang International Circuit team.
Yeah,
so it's not like they aren't supporting him.
No, it's like what's his name, Norridin, riding in the intact team for the SIT team.
Speaking of, I think he would, if the Dixon thing is true, I think we'd see Norridin on the Petronas bike for the Moto2. Silverstone.
Oh yeah,
he's the logical option.
Yeah, Norridin actually has been quite solid. It's pretty hard to touch the first top 2 riders in the CEV this year, but he's had a few podiums and things like that. He's doing decent. I think he would probably struggle a little bit in the World Championship, but he's decent. I don't think he'd be lost.
He's been slightly above Tiger Harder's level, and Harder wasn't last today.
No, exactly. Yeah, so I would say, get Norridin in, but I think the SICK team will continue without Petronas. They used to run in Moto3 with a different sponsor. They can run in Moto2 with a different team or band together with a team, because teams have been known to merge. It's not out of the ordinary. Like with, what was it, Tasca Racing and what team was it? The Tasca Racing merged with a few years ago.
Fonta something, wasn't it?
No, it was in the World Championship.
Yeah, I remember. It was the Tasca Fonta something Racing, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, Tasca Racing, obviously they had Remy Gardner and then they had Tanucci before that. And then obviously Simeon. At the end of a year, I'm pretty sure they merged with the Pons team, which is probably why they're so bad these days. But yeah, so they merged with a team, so it could be that the SICK team, I don't know, merged with the team who need a little bit more support, maybe like the SAG team or the Grassini team for next year, or even the Intact GP team,
Yeah.
But
speaking of Intact, that leads me on to my next point that I wanted to make was, do you think Augusto Fernandez might be looking at that Yamaha seat? Because apparently Tony Arbolino has signed for VDS next year. Sam Lowes has been offered a contract for next year for VDS.
Yeah.
Where does Fernandez go?
Well, that's a weird thing, because a lot of riders have been linked to that blooming VDS seat. There's another rider who I thought about just then. They've completely lost it again now. But Arbolino's been linked to it.
Apparently Arbolino signed.
Yeah, all right. And then, well, Fernandez has been linked to Augusto Fernandez, has also been linked to the now sick team in MotoGP. He's also been linked to the Red Bull KTM IO team, which would be good to have Acosta next to a pretty seasoned race winning veteran as a class now, I'd say. You know,
but of course, the other name in that frame for the other IO seat now is apparently Lecona.
Yeah. Well,
so if Lecona does sign that IO seat, you've got to think that Fernandez is probably going to be the one to go up.
Yeah.
Because he's out of a seat. Like, apparently Lowe's has signed for 22, and Arbolino has apparently inked the contract.
Yeah. Because that's what Neil Hodgson dropped that, didn't he, accidentally?
Yeah, unconfirmed, but confirmed.
Yeah, it's like everything we hear these days. It's happening 2 weeks later, or it's completely different.
Yeah,
or it's
like he actually said it's happening, and he never does that.
No,
but
he doesn't.
I did see that on I can't remember one foreign site. I saw it as well. That they apparently he did it already.
Ooh, interesting. Well, it's a good squad at the end of the day. You know, it's a VDS team. It's a factory MotoGP team in Moto2. You know, they're a very, very, very good team. You know.
But my point I was making is, who would you prefer? Who would your preferred team be? Binder Lecona, Binder Fernandez, or Lecona Fernandez?
Lecona Fernandez, and then Binder in Moto2.
Yeah,
I just think it'd be the smarter option for the future.
Yeah, I think so too. But at the end of the day, the other thing that I wanted to point out was it's not impossible. Jack Miller did it.
Yeah, he did.
And aside from that, apparently, jump to MotoGP from Moto2 is bigger than the jump from Moto3 to Moto2. So why not just cut out the middleman?
Yeah, it's at the end of the day, it might take a few more years to adapt, you know, like Jack Miller did. And Jack Miller could have technically really gone via Moto2 and still arrived at the same level of MotoGP. But why not just cut out the middleman if you can, you know?
I said this. I just don't think... There's a lot of possibilities, a lot of various inks on contracts that may not have been inked.
Yeah, it's a weird... I love silly season.
Because we were told that Masia signed to go to Moto2 before the season even started.
Yeah.
And now we're in Acosta's going to be the one going up.
Yeah, and that Masia might even stay in Moto2 next year. 3 next year with the IO team. Yeah. Next to Moreira, you know, so...
Yeah,
it's a freaking weird one, but I do love this silly season, you know. Like, I've got the Moto2, like, race results next to me. Yeah. You know, like, who's going to take that? Well, the rumour I've heard now, the Aspar Moto2 Bosco Scuro will go to Fermin Aldeguer, because obviously he's already on a Bosco Scuro. He's already racing for Aspar Moto2.
Yes.
You know, that's... No, in the Moto E, sorry, yeah. So he's already got both links. It makes perfect sense to put him on a team that's already got podiums this year. You know, it's the Aspar team.
Yes, I have asked the question and received an answer, but I can't say.
Oh, you haven't even told me that. You have to message me.
Yeah.
Jeez. But
I thought I had.
Nope. But then obviously you might have, but I'm just crap at reading messages.
Yeah,
you know, obviously the Grassini Moto2 team.
See, now this is the stumbling block for me.
Yeah.
Because we are hearing very different things.
We are, and if what we're hearing is true, obviously...
So what's yours?
Gigi's out and up.
Yes,
Balega is not performing as expected, so probably will lose his seat.
Yes.
Unfortunately, where did he finish today? He finished... I can't even find him. He finished 22nd.
That says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But who have you heard are going to be the two Grassini Moto2 teams next year?
Jeremy Alcoba and Gabby Rodrigo.
Yes, see, now that we are hearing... Yeah, like, I've slotted in Rodrigo and you slotted in Alcoba. That's the thing.
Yeah.
We haven't heard them together.
No, we haven't heard them together. But I've heard a majorly conflicting...
Are we allowed to say the reason?
Let's just say... Sorry, this is difficult to everybody listening.
Should we just say
one of the riders has been linked to a different Moto3 team? One of those two riders has been linked to a different Moto3 team?
Yes, and aside from that we're also hearing that perhaps there will be one less Moto3 team.
Yeah.
So make of that what you will if both are going up to the Grassini Moto2.
Yeah.
But yes, also been hearing that Gabby Rodrigo will stay, still on a Honda in Moto3, but with a different squad.
A different, very fast, definitely. You can definitely see this team, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and apparently they're saying that this team want to get rid of one of their current riders want to go up because they've sacked his dad.
Yeah, which is interesting. Like, we're trying to be as... We don't want to name these teams just in case it gets us in trouble. But
use your head.
We're giving you as much information as we can.
We're spoon feeding you. Come on now.
Yeah. And so that puts a Moto3 race winner in Moto2 next year, maybe in Gresini.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's a fight because it would make perfect sense for.
It would make perfect sense
for one of them to take the seat of the guy who's going to go into Moto2.
Yeah.
So it's it's a weird one. And then, of course, you've got the other seats that are not pay seats, but less desirable seats.
Yeah.
Who many people could fill.
It's a weird situation. I can see Joe Roberts changing teams because I don't know where the hell he's at this year, but it's not where we expect him to be.
I don't want him to, because if he goes back to where I think he would go, that blocks a certain Suzuki man.
Yeah, so there's a certain, 10 times winner now in Moto America?
Yeah, but of course if he goes Chev anyway, then that's a much better route for him. So
I would just say, Sean Della Kelly, if he comes over from Moto America, I'd want to see him do the Chev first for 1 year, just to get his groove back in there. He's 19 years old. If he goes into Moto2 World Championship in 2023, he'll only be 21.
Yes.
I'd
love to see him with Chiatti or something, because they are by far and away the best CV Moto2 team.
Yeah, I think Alex S. Krieg will probably have one Chiatti seat.
Yes.
If either Charlie Nesbitt or Sean Della Kelly gets a Chiatti seat, or if the American racing team use the power that is the American racing team to help promote American racing by creating an American racing Chev team and bring an American rider over, which is what you'd expect this team to do.
Yeah, but what you'd expect an American racing team and what they do are two very different things.
Yeah, it's about filling the pockets of somebody, really, but hey ho.
Yeah, that's it, and that's the problem.
That is the
ideally,
problem.
I would like to see SDK come up into Chev with ART, with a view to 2023, alongside maybe Cam, maybe Joe.
Well, where does this slot Ramirez? Because the talks are he's out.
See, now this is the interesting bit for me, because I can see him on the other Gresini seat.
Oh, okay, interesting.
That's just my thought. That's not anyway. But he's a proven Moto2 rider. He's starting to find his feet before he got hurt.
He's very good, mate.
He's an excellent rider, and he's a good rider. He brings money.
Yeah, he does. He's got good sponsors behind him.
Yeah, he's had plenty of sponsors. I don't see any downside to signing Ramirez, to be honest. I really don't.
He's got a hell of a lot of potential. His gap for potential is massive. Time is ticking a little bit, but he's a weird rider.
I wouldn't be unhappy to see a Roberts and Ramirez swap, to be honest.
Or maybe a pairing again at Italtrans.
But then where does LDP go? Back to Gresini?
I don't know. It's gutting with LDP. Obviously, he crashed out today.
This was supposed to be Petronas.
I know, we've just gone on a tangent, but fuck it.
That's why people it's fine.
Yeah, I'm gutted, right? We will go and cover all 3 races, and we're just talking about Moto2 for the time being, I think. I'm gutted about this Lorenzo Teleporter, because every bloody session I'm raving about him. He's top 5, he's top 10, he's doing so well. And yet he's freaking crashing every race, or when he gets to the race, he just loses his head. But he has got an unbelievable amount of potential on that Moto2 bike, and he's just not using it at all, and it's actually driving me insane.
Because that's the other thing I viewed, is LDP back down to Moto3 with Leopard.
Yeah, that's what I've heard as well, but if that's the case, then it screws something else, huh?
Yeah, well, yes, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's so many connotations in Moto2 right now, because basically Petronas pulling out has set off a chain reaction among all 3 classes.
Yeah, it does, yeah. And it's like, crap, we need to find more
and
seats.
we haven't even got the two Moto3 silly season with what we've heard since the last time we discussed it. You know, it's just
mad.
Fucking hell, man. It's like, I just, if I was in Moto2 right now, there's pretty much every seat almost available because everybody's doing musical chairs.
Apart from one seat, mate, there is one seat in that class that will never will never be changed. That is Marcel Schrotter in GP.
Yeah, true that. Yeah, you'd be there till he's 48, like.
He is bloody glued to that seat. It doesn't matter if they're on a Suter or a bloody K-Legs. He is glued to that seat.
Yeah, because there's a second Intact GP seat. If Tony leaves.
Shit, I forgot that.
Yeah, that's a good team. You know, that's a very, very solid team.
Yeah, unless your name's Thomas Luffy and you. Yeah.
Well, he nearly won the title on it, to give him his credit.
And then he kicked off like mad at them for whatever and fell out with them.
Yeah, and look where you are now, Tom. They were silly moves, mate.
He got his first top 10 of the season today, so.
Was it his first?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Did he not get one at Barcelona after Dupasquier?
Don't think he did.
You may be right then.
Hold on,
but
I'll Google it quick.
Either way.
Yeah.
Like,
he could retire at the end of the year at the end of the day.
Yeah, that was up an SAG seat. Like, you wouldn't want to go to SAG, but that's by the by.
Yeah, so... yeah, that's his first top 10.
Oh, happy days then. Like, typically he found a bit of pace now when it's probably a bit late.
It's a big shame. I mean,
he may not want to stay after what happened this season, don't get me wrong, but...
He's made his millions in Moto2 and MotoGP anyway. He's made a lot of money in his racing career. Believe it or not, Thomas Luffy is very wealthy.
John Luthi had money before he raced as well, though.
Yeah, he did, yeah. But that Car Expert and all that, Interwin and sponsorship. Like, Interwin, I didn't realise, are a betting company.
Yep.
They're a gambling company, mate.
Hertz
they're paying
as
him
well.
bank. Sorry?
Like, Hertz, the car hire company.
Really?
They've sponsored him for ages.
Yeah, like, absolutely.
That's the reason all his lids are yellow.
Yep. And so do Pasquet carry the same sponsors?
Yep, you've got it. That'll open up an SAG seat.
Yep. Good seat, but it's a pay seat. You have to pay for that ride. That's the only issue.
Do you know the only thing that I think we haven't discussed that someone should take a punt on?
What?
Alonso Lopez.
Yeah, I can imagine him being in the Moto2 next year.
Yeah, someone should take a punt on him. Like,
I'm saying Pons, just to cut you off there. Pons, mate, he was an absolute freaking superstar on that Pons K-Lex.
If Firmine does indeed go to Aspar, then Lopez should replace Navarro.
I agree.
Because Navarro is not going to stay. Like,
no,
he's officially crashed out so many times now that I think he's actually broken the Moto2 record now.
I think today, for once, wasn't his fault, actually, but...
No, it wasn't. And for once, it wasn't Manzi's fault either.
No, it wasn't. It was...
And I saw someone say, was Cambobia's penalty harsh? No! Was it fuck?
Yeah, he was a twat, to be honest.
He ruined 3 fucking races by coming into turn 1. But yeah, let's just let him off because he's American. Fuck you.
Yeah, America. But Navarro's having an okay season this year, but he's had too many okay seasons now.
He'd have frustrated the hell out of me tomorrow because he's fast.
Yeah, he should. I think he'd win a World Supersport Championship as a rookie, though.
Oh yeah, he could easily go and do a locker.
Bang him on that bar dial and twat him in World Superbikes a year after. Sorted, mate.
Yeah, like he's mad fast, Navarro, but
yeah, he's
for some reason he just doesn't seem to have an understanding of what a limit is.
Yeah, like when you're riding, and you are, like, I'm talking like a bloody race bikes, but when, like, you're on the limit, you can feel the limit, you know it's there, and he's just like, whatever.
Yeah, he just doesn't seem to have the understanding that the limit is the limit. He thinks, I could just adjust this limit a little bit, and then before you know it, he's on the floor, and there's 23 crashes in a season. Like,
yeah, like, I think last year he crashed out of more races than he actually finished.
Like,
it was ridiculous.
Why Magna picked him up, I don't know. They're going to go bankrupt, man.
I said that to Magna. I was like, bro, you're going to go bankrupt, mate.
Yeah, like, you imagine the payout. Imagine the amount of leather they must have killed so many fucking cows, man.
Yeah, like, rest in peace. Well, rest in peace to the bloody cows they killed because this bloody nutcase.
Yeah, just to dye him yellow so he could crash. Like, fuck off.
Yeah,
nah, Navarro, honestly, he's done. He's done. And Lopez would be an excellent fill-in our seat. I'd even go as far as saying right now, Aspar would probably be a better shout than the official speed-up team. But of course, we don't know the second Aspar seat either. Like, is Arenas staying?
Oh, Arenas will stay 100%.
Because he's underwhelmed.
He's done all right this weekend. He was on in the top 10 before his crash. He got knocked off, didn't he?
Yeah, but like, on the whole,
I genuinely rate his Moto2 season so far as a rookie. I think he's actually done quite well.
I'm not sure, Steve. Like, I think he's done slightly worse than I expected him to do. A rider of his talent.
He just takes a while to get going. I think that's his issue. But once he gets going, he's a world champion. Yeah,
but if you give him the amount of time he needed to get going in Moto3 and Moto2, he'd be 33.
Yeah, but by the time he's in MotoGP, he'll be 40.
Yeah, like literally, he will win the title by the time he's 33.
Hey, if he wins the title, that's all they care about, you know. I think he'll be staying Moto2 for the next few years now. He'll build his craft. He's all right, you know.
Yeah, because like Honda Team Asia pretty much going to stay where they are, aren't they?
Yeah, they will, yeah.
Because like Agura's not going to go up or down at this point. Neither will Chandra. Because who's going to, even if they got rid of Chandra, who's going to come up?
Is the hard? No,
As the hard goat is the hard point.
Yeah.
15th is the hard goat.
Exactly. But moving back a little bit, I want to go on to Moto3 now and work through the races. But I'll start with some little transfer talk as well. So obviously Javi, whatever his name is, Martinez Aspar, whatever his name is. What's his first name? It is Javi, isn't it? Jorge Martinez Aspar.
Jorge Martinez, yeah.
He confirmed, obviously, he's confirmed that Guevara and Garcia will stay in Moto3.
Yes.
But Garcia has won so many races. I don't want him to stay in Moto3. I think Garcia's ready.
I do too. I think Guevara will be a title contender next season.
He was stunning today. Just want to put that out there.
What he's doing, I think, is an assurance he has time. He's just working it out. He's riding within himself to learn the tracks.
Yeah, because it's a lot.
He's not doing what a Pedro like Pedro. I think he's a stunning rider, but it's like he's in a rush almost.
Pedro is just an extraordinary talent, I think.
Yeah,
and
but like it seems. I think Guevara. I'll still maintain. I think Guevara is better.
Guevara is an above-average rookie.
But my point is, it's like Pedro Costa just is in a rush to get to MotoGP, and you can tell he just wants to be higher and faster.
It's because he knows he can do it. He's got the best team on the grid, you know, so he's got the options to get there. And Guevara is basically doing what you'd expect him to do, if not better than that.
I think he's actually overperforming what you'd expect of a rookie. Guevara,
yeah, Guevara
if honest.
Is definitely overperforming.
But I think he's been given assurances by Aspar and a way of working that he will be retained for at least the next year, if not the year after.
Mate, you don't win a Chev Moto3 title as a rookie and not get retained for the next 3 years, you know?
Yeah. So, like, I think with him, like, with him retaining Garcia as well, I think is a statement of, if you can go and beat Garcia next year, you go up.
Good luck. Yeah, like, good luck if you can beat Garcia. But the thing is, again, I don't want Garcia to stay down because, like, I'm all for keeping riders down, but he has done his time in Moto3 now. This is his third year. And then,
but he's had 2 very underwhelming years. That's the problem.
Yeah, on the Estrella Galicia. But then look at him now. Bang, straight. He's battling for the title now.
Somewhere happy.
He's doing well. And so, yeah, maybe he can sacrifice a year so he can stay in Moto3 again. And maybe do a Bastianini. Bastianini spent a lot of years in Moto3. Got second place and carried 2 more years in Moto3 after. So it's not the worst thing in the world. He's 2 years ago was the youngest rider on the Moto3 grid. He's actually only 18 years old now. So yeah, he can afford another year in Moto3.
I think Aspar has advised him to do this. And when Aspar and Nico Terol speak to you and advise you of something, you listen. So if that's the case, and they think, the better option here is to keep you down for another year, where I think you can compete for the title, go up a champion, you listen. Yeah. So I don't think it's a silly decision at all. I think he would be fine in Moto2.
Yeah, and it's you've got to remember, so he's like the gas factory rider as well. This could open the door in IO at the end of next year.
Yeah, well, the other thing, sorry to cut you off here on that. The other thing I've heard is that apparently Gas want to sponsor a Moto2 team next year.
Their Aspar team. Yeah, I think they're working out a deal because to work out.
No, see, I've heard that Aspar will be separate.
Oh, okay.
And they'll take over another team. I don't know who. It didn't think, but what I heard was they want to take over a separate team as the Gas factory team.
Jeez, that'd be cool. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, so maybe they're just holding out Garcia for that.
Maybe. But it's a weird musical chairs in Moto3 at the moment. I think, obviously, they've said it on TV, so we can talk about it. Simon Crafar basically said that Joel Kelso is wanted by lots of Moto3 teams, which is good. We rate Joel. He's freaking quick. He's won a Moto3 chair race. We've had him on the podcast if you want to go back and listen as well.
Interesting guy. Very interesting guy.
Yeah, he's the way into the racing is sick. The way he got into it all. Yeah, but he's wanted by a lot of teams as well. And a lot of eyes are on him now. He was absolutely fantastic at Aragon recently in the Chev. He is, and then obviously his race win at Portimao. I think he's ready as well. It's just a case of I've spoken to him. I'm sure he won't mind me saying this, that he doesn't want to pay for a ride in Moto3, which freaking fair play, mate. Why the hell would you want to pay to risk your life to do this? So, he is being looked at by some top teams, so...
Yeah, the problem is, I think, money talks.
It does.
And I think if he does want to go into this paddock next year, because we know he's good enough, but talent alone just isn't enough anymore, unfortunately. It's just the way of the world. And
it's a shame.
I think if he does want to go up, he's going to have to come up with a couple of shackles. It's just how it is.
Yeah, because his passport doesn't help him either, unfortunately. But
yeah, down under.
Australian,
Yeah, when you look at the passport and it's upside down, you can't read it.
Exactly, does gravity even work over there? I don't even know.
Everybody falls up.
Yeah, but. There are more rumours as well of the Valentino Rossi Moto3 team. But
well, that's going to happen. Even if Rossi doesn't go up, the ride as well.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. But the thing is, though, it's quite interesting, actually. There have been a lot of teams leaving the championship recently. Obviously, the Shredder Galicia team left, VR46 left, now Petronas left. What's going on in the background? Is Dorna screwing it up, or what?
I think it's just money and COVID, honestly.
And obviously the Worldwide Race team left as well.
The only people who made money over the COVID were mask manufacturers.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. Everyone suffered. And suddenly, a luxury, because it is a luxury sponsored a team.
Yeah, racing teams.
It's not an essential, it's a luxury. And suddenly luxuries had to be cut back. Monlau were out beforehand, we knew this, but that's because they just poured everything into CV. And they've got about 300 riders at the minute in CV. Which
got a lot.
It's fine. Yeah. But the others were I'm sure they were COVID based because they couldn't afford it.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's sad, but money talk again.
It does, unfortunately. It's always a shame.
Because obviously, the big thing that we're waiting for out of Moto2 as well in terms of VR46 is Bear's announcement. Because he's not going to Petronas.
No, he's not.
We know that now. He's not going. He's going to go to VR46. Let's be real.
He will.
It's the worst kept secret in the paddock. If you haven't figured it out by now, then why the hell are you listening to this? Let's be honest. But of course, then the Moto2 seat opens up.
Yeah.
And there's basically two riders who get that. It's a straight shot between me and you and Ant Deli in it.
Yeah, it's pretty much...
The only other, perhaps, could be if Pons do indeed take Lopez, is they slot Manzi in. But
which I can't see them doing at all.
No, it's not. It's very unlikely. But
Manzi will be World Supersport champion next year.
I wouldn't be unhappy. The thing is, Manzi's... He's been solid, just not solid enough.
He's decent...
I think he's another one of those. All everybody says to me, that I'm reading at the minute, is Jake Dixon would be amazing on a bigger bike with all the power, I think the same of Manzi. I think if you chucked him on a Ducati, he could make a turn and he would be excellent.
In a World Superbikes, yeah. It's just if he could stay
on
it.
in MotoGP, honestly. Like,
Jesus.
I genuinely think if you put him on, say, the Avintia bike or the Pramac bike, he would do well. I think he's just one of those riders who needs power, same as Dixon.
Okay. I agree with Dixon because he's proved it, but Mackenzie has never proved it. So I'm not.
It's a hunch, don't get me wrong, but like, he's very Pecco in his riding. Like,
yeah.
You know, him and Pecco are very similar in style and approach.
Yeah.
Pecco can make the Ducati turn just through his style of hanging off. And I mean, he's never going to get the chance. Nor in his current performance, he's not going to get the chance. He's just not.
No freaking way. Well, unless he brings 2 million to the table.
Rossi, give him 2 million, but...
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it's one of those that we'll never know, but I have a hunch he would be all right.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. But, yeah, I want to move on to the actual Moto3 coverage now. I don't really know where to start, because what the hell is that race?
Why don't we start with the start? And
what about the GOAT Andy Farrid taking 1 point in B15?
Well, I want to start with the incidents. So
there's loads. I can't remember now. You're going to have to refresh my brain. I ain't taking any notes, because...
Mino and Salvador. Racing incident or at fault?
Friendly fire, as one of our friends puts it quite well.
Racing incident or at fault?
I'd say racing incident down to the inexperience of Salvador.
No,
Salvador.
See, I'll have to disagree with you there. I think Salvador had the line.
Fair.
Mino tried to turn in on him, thinking he was going to turn tighter, and he didn't. But he had the line.
Yeah. Binder, fucking idiot.
Racing incident.
No, it wasn't, mate.
Yes, it was.
Binder had no right.
Let me tell you why. To use the really Welsh expression, let me tell you for why. Right? The door was wide open because it's the natural racing line that Sasaki took.
Yeah.
Like, it's not so much a racing incident as a Red Bull Ring incident, in that the way you have to ride the Red Bull Ring means you have to almost sweep. And the natural racing line that Sasaki took invited the attack because the door was left wide open. You cannot blame Binder for going through an open door. Sasaki should have half expected, especially he would have known Binder was behind him.
Yeah.
He should have half expected some form of an attack.
Yeah.
On the flip side, I don't think Binder needed to make the move where he made it. He was faster than Sasaki.
Aggressive.
It was aggressive, but I don't think it was unfair. I don't think it crossed the line. But he was faster than Sasaki anyway. He could have probably got past him on the straight or into T1. I don't think he needed to rush the move, which he did. But I also don't believe that he was at fault for going for a gap that existed. That's the problem.
Yeah, you can go for a gap and all that, but it's choosing the freaking moments, you know?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, if Moto3 is a bear pit, and if he did an attack, who's to say he wouldn't have got an attack? Like, you've just got to go for it. And if there's an open door, like, if he'd come straight through and made a gap by smacking into Sasaki, fair. Definitely punishable. But the fact that the gap was already there because Sasaki was on the natural racing line, which is wide, it was open and he took it. I really don't see a problem. Like, it's very unfortunate for Sasaki that he went down, but Sasaki also, I think, needs to take a slight amount of responsibility and think, I should have expected a move because of the natural racing line. No, it's not like Rodrigo did yesterday to Suzuki where there was no room.
Ugh, idiot. Idiot, that guy.
On that same corner, Suzuki covered the line of the inside and Rodrigo still tried to create the hit.
Yeah, he did.
Binder didn't do that. So I think the no further action was fair.
Fair dues. Moving on. I think, one of the best rides of today's race was by Eisen Guevara, mate. I know you're a bit biased and you love him, so I know you'll agree. But he set the freaking lap record, right? And closed down 3 seconds in 2 laps.
On his own. Yeah,
mate.
Not even in a pack slipstreaming, just flying.
Yeah, I
think he ran out of tyre.
With Messina.
Yeah, I do think he ran out of tyre.
Yeah, he did.
Which, that's experience. It'll come. Yeah. But he's proven he got the speed. He's proven it multiple times over the course of the year already.
Catalonia, for example.
Yeah, Qatar.
Yeah, Qatar.
No, yeah. He deserves to be there, and he's proven it time and again. Like, to bridge a 3-second gap to riders like Binder and Masia, that's no mean feat.
It wasn't even Binder, it was...
Well, he had to pass the Petronas boys first, didn't he?
Yeah, he caught up to the Petronas boys, beat them, and then caught up to Masia.
Like, if they didn't have a last lap shenanigans, he probably would have been top 5. But
yeah, mate, he was unreal.
If Granny had balls, she'd be grandpa, wouldn't she? That's just how it is. Like, but yeah, I think he was definitely noteworthy, because to do what he did on your own, that was seriously impressive.
Unbelievable. Like, he's a class rider, you know, and another rider who we have talked about whose class is his teammate Sergio Garcia, who came in 13th on the grid and got his revenge in the race win. Oh, I haven't done predictions also.
No, well, Gary and yours, so...
Nah, we'll read them out
Go
anyway.
on, yeah, just do it for us, fuck it. But
whatever.
like, if Gary's right, he just can't drink it in, so fuck it, it's fine.
Got it. Well, neither of us got it right anyway, because you went with Garcia, Acosta, Alcoba. Gary Lee went with Acosta, Garcia, Fernandez, and I went with Acosta, Garcia, Masia.
Close.
So yeah, we all got it wrong.
I don't think anybody remembered Foggia and the fact that he did DNF last race, so that means he's going to get a podium.
Yeah, well, he got 22nd last weekend, so we're like, oh yeah,
so he's podiumed this week. So now for Silverstone, he's going to DNF or finish outside the points.
Yeah, because it continues. It's 11 races in now, and he either DNFs, finishes outside the points, or gets a podium. There is literally no other.
He has not come from 4th to 15th.
Yeah,
at all.
He's freaking mental. Like 4th to 15th. Nah, no thanks. I want silverware or 0, thank you.
And I know you hate him, but over the past 2 races, I think Fanati has been excellent.
He's been good, but he's a prick. So
yeah, but like. If you just focus strictly on the riding.
Strictly on riding, mate, he's outstanding. His race start was absolutely ridiculously good.
Yeah, it's like someone stuck a firework up his bum. Like.
Yeah, just like, boom, let's go, Rocket Romano, you know.
But yeah, he's still not forgiven for what he's done. But riding-wise, I thought he was, I think, a good example of how to ride the Red Bull ring.
Yeah, he obviously uses mountains of experience to be able to do that. Took pole for the first time since 2017 as well.
On his own as well.
Yeah, on his own.
Like that's impressive. Like it's proof that you don't necessarily need a slipstream around the Red Bull ring.
No, you don't. You can just do it by yourself.
Because the 2 fastest laps of the race were Guevara on his own, and the pole was Fanati on his own. It's wild.
Yeah, mad, isn't it? And Pedro Acosta as well did really well. Some of his bloody moves again and his saves. Oh. Like, he literally is like gelled to that bike. I think he knows what the bike's going to do before he even thinks about it, you know?
That's a sign of a quality rider, isn't it?
He's just
he's Marc Marquez style. He's preempting the crash.
He has got a head on his shoulders twice the age of him. He's
I'm starting to think, you know, like when African footballers come over to Europe and they're really 48 when they passport says they're 17.
Yeah.
I think Acosta's really 30.
Yeah, like, he is so mature. His racecraft is phenomenal, you know.
He's earned his move up to Moto2.
Yeah, like, he is...
There's no other way to say it.
Into words.
Yeah, he's a phenomenon. We have not seen a rider this special in the lower class since Marc Marquez.
Well, we have never seen a start of a rookie season in the lower class like this ever. Only, in the history of the sport. Yeah,
the only 2 riders in recent memory I can think come close to being as good as they are on a lower class bike are Marquez and Joan Mir.
And Loris Capirossi is the last ever 125cc champion as a rookie in 1990. So 31 years apart.
Was it in 91?
No, 1990 it was. Because he backed it up for the 1991.
Nah.
He did the double.
Yes, and he's also still the youngest world champion in the lower class with that.
Which is mental.
17.
But, yeah, it's crazy. Well, Acosta coming at 17 this year. I don't know about the days, because I was looking at it the other day, but I didn't actually be bothered to work it out.
Acosta, if he wins the title, will be the youngest ever. Is actually you're going.
That's
by something like, I think it was, I can't remember off the top of my head, I looked like weeks ago.
It's like 20 days difference.
Yeah, it's something like 30 days, I think.
Yeah, it's
not
like
much.
tiny, it'd be tiny in it, but like really impressive.
But it's
season
also
by
a distinct possibility. Like
mental.
just like other rides of note doing. Well, first of all, hopefully we'll see Xavi Artigas back in Silverstone.
Yeah, exceptional talent. He's just having a shit run of luck this year.
And he's tested positive for the Rona, so that's kept him out of both these races.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we'll see Niccolo Antonelli back.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about him.
Because obviously Bartolini and Tadej were the Avinti riders this weekend.
Yep.
Broke his wrist, sorry. But possibly will be fit enough. Don't know yet.
Oh, maybe.
And
he's so unlucky, though.
I want to talk about Andrea Mino for a bit.
Okay.
Just simply, what the fuck's he up to lately?
It's just, he was unlucky today, but he's been so unlucky this year, get knocked out like Mugello and all that.
But at the same time, it's the McPhee effect of if you're in the pack, you're at risk. Like, we know Mino is good enough to lead races constantly. Yeah. Like, he's an exceptional talent.
Yeah.
And we thought he finally figured it out after the first half of this season. Well, the first quarter.
After he moved to a Honda.
Yeah, we thought, like, hello, Mino's doing good, yeah? Like, is this the year? And now it's just gone tits up.
Yeah, he's
and I don't know what he's doing. Like, I just... Honestly, if I knew him, I would go with him and I'd just slap him. I just don't know what the fuck he's playing at.
No. It's absolutely
it's frustrating. It's absolutely frustrating. Like, with respect to Niccolo Antonelli, I don't think he'll ever win a Moto3 title.
No.
Mino could.
Yeah, Mino's got it in him,
But Antonelli haven't. Like, so Antonelli just like, never mind Niccolo on the next one, but Mino, like, fuck's sake.
It's not quite a strange one, to be honest, but Mino's just he's a phenomenon. He's just getting really unlucky this year, but he needs the Moto2 move now, I think, because he's otherwise going to fall into the trap of John McPhee, where he's just...
Yeah, I think the Moto2 move is his.
Yeah, I do too.
As long as Niccolo doesn't have an amazing second half of the season, which he ain't going to.
No, because it's hard to think that Nicolo was second in the championship at one point.
That's just frustrating.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I think it's time for Antonelli to leave the championship and go to Supersport as well, to be honest.
Yeah, Antonelli is... He's just a strange one. He's just so unlucky. He's always getting injured. That's the problem.
Oh, he's made of glass, isn't he? Made of fucking Weetabix, like.
His collarbones made of twigs.
Yeah, literally. They're like cheese strings.
Yeah, they just snap so often.
What he needs is to be made of rubber.
Yeah, like he hasn't snapped one in a while now, but he's always blooming doing it.
I don't think that man has ever been fully fit riding a bike. Even when he was like never. 3 or 4, he probably hurt himself, like scraping his knee on his fucking push bikes or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's weird because he had such an amazing season back in 2015 with the Snipers team and then moved to the Red Bull KTM IO team a few years ago. Yeah. And nothing's ever clicked for him. And the way he sets up his bike is so weird because he's literally stiffest suspension settings possible, and
that's why he crashes.
Yeah, he's just
because he hits a bump, but it doesn't soak it up. It just goes donk,
donk.
Like, the best way I can describe it, if you're listening, go and grab a fork and hit it against your table. That's what his suspension does.
Yeah, it's freaking horrible. But right. Moving to Moto2, our predictions from literally the most boring race of the year.
Do you know what's really? I love Moto2. It's my favorite class, but today it was boring at the worst possible time because of how good the other two races were.
Yeah, it was just like amazing.
It made it look even worse. But it was a classic Moto2 almost in that it was boring, but they were intriguing battles all the way through the field. Yeah,
there was like good stuff going on, like
but it just
the Remy and Canet stuff going on.
Just compared to Moto3 and MotoGP, it was like fucking hell, man, do something.
Yeah,
you're like the meme of the guy poking the stick saying do something.
Yeah, do something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking for Moto2 all the way through. I just wanted a guru to pass Fernandez, to be honest, but
yeah. But it was, I loved watching Remy and Aaron Canet because Remy passed Canet and it was quite rough, The other stand up and was like, I'm sorry,
Canet
and the next
fucking
lap,
flips it off.
Banged it past him And then Blimmin puts his finger up and shakes his finger to be like, no, like Lorenzo did to Marquez, like, you don't do that to me.
Well, so would you fight Aaron Canet?
No. Mate, he's small, he's stocky.
He's like a fucking UFC fighter.
Mate, yeah, he would kill you, mate.
Like, imagine him against Alicia Spargo, for example, because Alicia looks like a chicken wing. Like, he punches soul out of his fucking body, man.
Well, to be fair, Alicia looks like he could probably deck you. I would love to see Ralph Fernandez go against Aaron Canet in a boxing match.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the problem is, if Raul starts flagging, you can just tag in fucking Adrian, couldn't he?
Yeah, but Adrian just gets snapped.
Yeah, but like, that'd be the time where Raul could get his breath back.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah. But we had a blooming rookie 1-2 in the class, which is just superb, to be honest.
Superb.
Our predictions as well, before I skip on these, we all went with Bezzecchi, which is a shame because he crashed in qualifying, qualified in 16th, finished the race in 10th, so gained 6 positions, but it was gutting, honestly, to see him kind of drop back as he did. But you went with Bez, Canet and Remy, so 0, well done, mate.
Oh, the Moto2 expert strikes again.
Gary Lee went identical to you.
Yep.
I went, oh shit, mama. I went with Bez, Augusto Fernandez, and Ayagora, mate.
Close.
Get it.
You went the wrong Fernandez, but...
You what? I went with Augusto Fernandez.
Yeah, no, but I mean is you should have gone double Fernandez instead of Bez.
Oh, I thought you said the wrong one. I was like, what the freaking...
No, yeah, you did, like, you should have said Raul not thing, and then switched Fernandez for Bez, but never mind.
Oh, I got freaking 2 out of 3. I'm quite chuffed for that. But, yeah,
you didn't get 3 out of 3, did you, with predicting the winner like I did in Portugal, bitch?
Yeah, but I've already had that as well, mate.
You didn't predict the winner, did you, bitch?
I don't even remember. But anyway.
I do.
It's counting your victories, mate.
Yeah, well, I ain't getting many right, so when I do, I remember it.
Yeah, good shout.
Yeah, like we meant to be the fucking experts, and we just constantly get it wrong with the predictions.
It's fine. There's literally, you can't predict this shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, sure.
But finally, like, we've been raving about Ayagora all year long, and he's finally got on the box. You know, he qualified in the front row last weekend and this weekend, and he's finally on the box. You know, he is absolutely been stunning all year long.
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I said just before the season started, I posted the Moto2 times on my page, in the pre-season tests at Jerez, and someone commented saying, "Why the fuck is Ayagura here? Like, he doesn't deserve a seat." Well, all I got to say to you, bud, is, you dick, you fucking melon.
Yeah, he's definitely proven it. You know, he's absolutely fantastic. You know, given his stature as well, because he's a short guy, he's a small guy.
Yeah, he looks quite unassuming, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's still boshing this bloody Moto2 about like it's...
Yeah, like, you know, he's showing he might be Honda's next big hope.
Yeah, he is.
Who would have said that a year ago?
No, he's only 19 as well, 19 years old.
Yeah, that's it.
Absolutely outstanding, you know, and I'm glad for Augusto Fernandez as well, after the year he's had last year and the start of this year. Now 3 podiums on the bounce, you know. We all know he was stupid talented, and finally now it's coming back through, you know.
Yeah, like as I said last week, his crew chief, I can't remember his name now, but he's finally figured it out for him.
Yeah, did well. I realised I need to stop saying "you know" as well, because apparently I say that about 100 times, so that's great.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you know. But,
do you know what I say to that? If you don't like it, don't listen. Fuck you.
True. I've listened to the podcast myself and gone, bloody hell, I don't have to say "you know" quite a lot. But in 5th place...
Hey, I just had a message of SDK because I sold him well done.
Oh,
shout out SDK. Don't know, I haven't read it yet. You know, mate, keep them mean, keep them keen and all that.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I'll read it out. But, you know, this podcast is the focus. You shouldn't be on your phone, unlike some people.
I literally sit here on my phone
yeah.
most of the podcast.
Yeah. No, but, what he said was, fuck yeah.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. I said, nice. that move to win, I nearly fell off my chair. Top job. And he put, fuck yeah.
Love it. I love it. Top jobs, SDK. You're a legend. But yeah, in 5th and 6th as well, Chantra and Vietti, mate.
Yeah, like, Vietti, I think, was robbed.
Yeah, I haven't seen what actually happened between them. Apparently, it was like a kamikaze move from Vietti, but
again, it was a Red Bull ring move. The door was open.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, to be fair, but he's really gelling to that Moto2 now. Vietti, I'm really starting to be impressed by him.
I was yet to be convinced until last season.
Yeah,
and
what,
now,
in Moto3?
Yes. But now, after the last season he had, where he was competing pretty much for the thing, like inexperience told, and I really feared for him moving up. Like, we knew he's good, but I did really fear for him moving up to Moto2.
Yeah.
But he's just another one who's proven a bit of power under him, and he'll go well. You know, it's just it's Moto3. I think is one of those. It's like it's not necessarily the sign of who will do well going forward.
No, because some riders don't even do Moto3, and yet they go into Moto2 and do really well. So
yeah, that's it. Like I feared for him, but I'm happy to be wrong. Definitely.
Yeah, and Chantra as well is doing really solid. You know,
that's what I said last week. Chantra's had his 2 rides of the year now.
Yeah, that's it now. That's it.
He likes this place. Like, he's had his 2 rides of the year. Come Silverstone now, he'll be back to 15th. Like,
yeah, strange one. Remy as well. Like, what the frick's happened with Remy? You know, first crash of the season yesterday. I say yesterday. Yeah. On Saturday. First crash of the season.
Yep.
What the hell?
Yep. Like, there's nothing you could do about it either. It's one of those. Like, you trail break in the front goes, you ain't saving those. Even if your name's Mark Marquez, you know?
Yeah. Right, I'm going to move to MotoGP because we've talked about Moto2.
Wait there. One thing I did want to mention was the BT Sport bias yet again.
Yeah, but the thing is, mate, like...
Great ride from Jake Dixon coming in 11th.
Yeah, but they're British. They're always going to be biased towards their thing. The F1's, like, terrible for it, but...
Yeah, but it frustrated me. Like, it wasn't a great ride. He could have done better.
Yeah, no, I get you.
So, come on, don't fucking put lipstick on a pig, like.
Right, our predictions for MotoGP. You went with Fabio, Pecco and Oliveira. So you got 1 of 3. Well done. Gary Lee went with Mir, Fabio and Miller. So, 0 out of 3. Well done, mate. I went with Mir, Zarco for the winner, which obviously freaking crashed out. And I actually went for Brad Binder. So... I'm going to take a round of applause there for predicting Brad Binder on the podium.
Brad Binder.
You know, like, I've got to say, right, that man has bloody balls the size of Jupiter, mate.
Yeah, like, honestly, like, as I said on my post, I've heard he had to have special tank indentations made to fit his massive bollocks in it.
Yeah.
Like, Exxon makes special leathers for him, which have more room around the crotch because his balls are just that big.
Yeah, they're just freaking like watermelons. And like he said though, as he was going around the race, he worked out, he did the maths in his head and worked out how many laps are left, how much time he could afford to lose a lap, if he could then afford to not pit. And he worked out to perfection, finished the race with 13-second lead over Francesco Bagnaia as a victory on a, what was it? It was a wet, dry bike on a soaking wet track. His tyres had no heat in them. He had slick tyres. His brakes weren't working because they cooled right down. His suspension settings are wrong.
Yeah, like, and it's worth pointing out it was cut to 10 seconds at the line because he went on the green in the last lap. Lost the 3 seconds, which he would have got for the long lap.
Oh no, he finished race 15 ahead and then it dropped to 13 because of the...
But you know something is scary when Brad Binder says it's scary.
Yeah.
And he said in the interview after he lost the heat in the carbon brakes and they stopped working, like, and he said he was a bit scared. Like, if it scares Brad Binder, it's going to scare a normal person.
Yeah, 100,000%. You know, like, that must have been absolutely terrifying.
And it's not even like we're jumping on a bandwagon. We've said for years that Brad Binder is just the ballsiest rider in the paddock, maybe short of Marc Marquez.
Yeah, like, he literally just... Like, we've seen it in Moto2 and Moto3. He goes for moves that are just obscene. And then he does this again today, you know. He's proof that the cream always rises to the top. Yeah. And he is just superb rider.
Yeah, like what he does, he's very Max Biaggi in that he'll get alongside you, and if you get alongside Biaggi, he'll let the brakes off and cut across you.
Yeah.
So Binder does that if you try and pass him, and he'll just let the brakes off and pass you. It's all clean. Look, it's perfectly legal. It's just an absolute bastard to defend against because you can't.
Yeah, you can't. You literally can't. Like the way he was getting past riders today. Like
he
made a move on somebody quite early in the race.
Oliveira on his teammate.
Yeah.
Or was it Lecona?
No, I can't remember who it was, but he made a move on somebody here, and then we're like, whoa.
Oh, no, it was Mia. It was Mia, because he sliced right across Mia, didn't he? But, like, legally.
Right. Yeah, like, oh my god. But it was an exhilarating race, you know, and I'm gutted for Pecco.
But, like, going off topic a second of the MotoGP, I think it's proven that the Red Bull Ring can host races in the wet.
Yeah, of course it can.
I don't see why people are bitching that it's very unsafe, because it isn't.
No.
Like, it's not... If it's unsafe, it wouldn't be on a MotoGP calendar. It wouldn't have homologation. End of story. Shut the fuck up.
Just depends how much Red Bull are actually paying.
It's not even that. Like, no amount of money to Dorna is worth a rider dying.
No,
because the track's unsafe. It's just not worth the bad press. It's just not. There's no way they would say, "Oh, we're gonna look the other way. A rider could hit a wall because you give us 10 million." Like, they just wouldn't do it.
No,
it's a safe track. It's like, obviously, like, it's not as safe as some, but it's safe enough to host MotoGP races in any condition.
Yeah.
End of story. And if you don't like it, come at me.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, moving back onto my point. Gutted for Francesco Bagnaia, who pretty much led the entire race with 3 to go.
Yeah.
And he's not won a race again.
Yeah, he shouldn't have pitted. But then again, Mark shouldn't have pitted either. So swings around about, you know?
Shoulda, woulda, coulda, you know. I mean, the end of the day is Pecco could have not pitted and crashed. He did the best thing for him, to be fair.
Oh, it was the most sensible, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, and, you know, you got to remember, it's only his 3rd year in MotoGP. He may not have done too many flag-to-flags, you know, but then Binder's Binder, you know, so...
Yeah, he's Binder. But, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not... I understand. I'm not saying it was the incorrect decision, because at the time it looked like the right decision.
Yeah.
But then Binder proved that actually it wasn't, but Captain Hindsight strikes again, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And at the end of the day, like, it was just a superb ride by Bagnaia. You know, he held off Fabio Quartararo's advances perfectly and obviously used the power on the straight to bang it straight past him. And when Marquez was going for him, he couldn't get past him because Francesco was just too strong, so defensive. And I think once we have a race finally with no anomalies at this bloody track, or I say track that he's good at, we'll see him win a race, and he'll do it in Jorge Lorenzo style of leading every single lap of the race.
I think it's next weekend.
Yeah, I think the way he'll win a race is by literally leading every single lap, because he's proven he can do it. He's proven he can fend people off. He just needs some luck, because every time he's leading the race, luck goes against him. Whether it's a visor on a tear off on the track, or it's something. He's crashing.
Wrong tyre choice after a red flag.
Yeah.
Like what I'm about to say next, I know people are going to just whinge. Oh, you're fucking ripping on Miller again. But he's proven he is the team leader.
Yeah. No, he is.
Miller, you know, the one who was supposedly renowned of being the ballsiest guy on the thing, pitted earliest and didn't make it work, which shocked me.
Rins and Miller screwed it up completely, to be honest, because at the end of the day, they pitted too early. They tried to jump ahead of the gun. It's not their fault, by the way, because at the end of the day, what could have happened is as soon as they pitted, the rain hooved it down, you know, and they felt, you know, right, now is the time to pit. And they pitted, and unfortunately, they pitted too early. And when they went back out of track, everybody was still lapping quicker than them. So by the time their advantage came in, it was too late, and they ended up in 11th for Miller and 14th for Rins.
But Miller is the one who's normally the last in and will make slicks out of dry track.
I was shocked by it, to be fair. You know,
that's exactly what I'm saying. I was actually very surprised that he came in and didn't stay out, like, simply because it's Miller, and you know he's made his name on doing stuff like that.
I think because of his crash last weekend, I think there's pressure to finish a race.
I think just factory pressure on the whole, and as I said previously and been attacked for it, I don't think he's got the eye for it.
I mean,
that ending, though.
Yeah.
Like, I know we're skipping straight through the middle of the thing, but that last few laps,
I was shouting, screaming.
Yeah, literally, I watched it, right? I was just sat in my chair. I nearly fell out of it like 3 or 4 times, like genuinely. I was at the very final lap. I had my head so far in my hands that I was starting to lose blood flow to my brain, like.
I had neighbours literally check up on me and be like, "Are you alright, mate?"
Yeah, I was screaming at the thing because at one point you thought Lecona was going to get the podium.
Oh,
at one point you thought Rossi was going to get the podium. Then it looked like it'd be Marini, and then it just all went like. And then just as we would like, obviously the once again the infamous group chat comes in. I said, "Oh, Lecona, he's second." As I typed it, I saw Pecco in the background, and I thought, fuck. Here we go.
He's gone.
Here we go. It's like Jaws music. My ideal podium would have been for Pecco to lead home Lecona.
Yeah.
Because Lecona, I think, I would go as far to say if Binder and Dunbury done, he would have had right of the day.
Yeah, absolutely, and it would have been such a kick in the mouth for KTM.
Oh, yeah.
Or if Rossi got that 200th podium, that would have been something else, man. But it is what it is, and we live to see another day. And I think I'm annoyed at the rider, but he'll be hating himself as Aleix Espargaro.
Oh,
second to 10th in the last lap.
He just muffed out of it.
He lost his head again. He can't ride in the wet.
Yeah, and aside from that, I think this is the first time where I think Aleix didn't have balls. Normally, you could Aleix likes a whinge, but on track, he doesn't give up.
Yeah.
But this, I think it just got to him. I think it freaked him out too much, and he just lost it all. You could see it, when they were catching him, you could see how careful he was being. It was it was literally, do you know what it reminded me of? He was that upright, it looked like those arcade games where you get on there and and you just lead the bike to move it. I think he had less lean angle than those. Honestly, he just didn't look. He didn't look like a MotoGP rider. He looked terrified.
They looked like a bunch of amateurs that got on a track day. It was actually quite funny to watch.
Yeah, but he genuinely
the pro riders cutting through him.
Yeah, but he genuinely looked scared. And you don't need fear as a MotoGP rider,
especially not in those conditions.
And we know Aleix was a vocal hater of the rain and Red Bull Ring. I think he just froze.
Yeah, he just kind of, at the end of the day, he will hate himself for that. Absolutely hate himself.
I think Max and Mir came into his head, honestly.
Yeah, maybe, because it was a terrifying situation, but it's to see Pecco must have been like it's Christmas Day, just cutting past him. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
and then Martin behind him, let's go.
His eyes must have lit up when he saw them all just slithering around,
Yeah, and then Martin just followed him through, thank you.
But one thing I do want to say, I think had Mark not pitted because he was on the soft rear, I think he would have won.
Maybe, it's possible
because he would have been able to keep more heat in the soft.
He looked unbelievably strong today. You said something about him having 2 injections before the race because he's been suffering with shoulder pain. But I want to say quite a lot of riders have been suffering with shoulder pain this weekend. It's not Mark, but obviously his is elevated further because of his prolonged injury.
It's still the right-handers and the syndrome of heavy braking zones.
Yeah, but the thing is, he looked friggin' strong today, battling for that win. He looked he looked about 90% of what he was, previously before his injury.
That's going to strike fear into the pack.
Yeah, he is. Marquez has arrived. He's back.
So I saw a comment. Someone said, "Oh, he should have been praying for wet because he couldn't compete in the dry." I think I must have watched a different race than that, dude.
Yeah, because he was definitely battling in the dry.
Was it Paul Espargaro at the front in the dry?
Yeah. Paul Espargaro, mate.
Well, it must have been because if it wasn't Mark because he needed wet, then who was it? You know what I mean? You're blind, you prick.
That thing with Enea Bastianini as well. That was scary.
That was bike porn, though.
That was when they showed it and the dry clutch was spinning and my god.
One thing I was very surprised at was it's sad as fuck, but I liked how the radiator sat where it is.
Yeah.
It overlaps on itself.
Yeah,
because the original GP90 didn't have that. So that's
as a Like, that's a 2019 bike. Imagine what they've done in the 2021.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think everybody would have been gutted with binoculars that it was 19 that did it, not the 21.
Yeah.
Because, like, if it was the 21, it'd be like binoculars out. Write it down quick.
Yeah. Like, I'm literally looking at it now. And, oh my god, the photo.
So see how the rad, like, doubles on itself? The original 19 didn't have that, so that's an update. So it's nice to see they still putting bits on it.
Yeah, it's beautiful to look at there. And, like, the engine and how it's, like, the exhaust manifold. And, so nice.
I don't know why he didn't carry on, though.
Well, maybe he was pulled in, or, he'd lost a lot of drag. He'd have lost a wing as well. You gotta remember, he's lost probably 3 wings down the left side of his fairing.
But, with the threat of rain, I would have stayed out, because you never know what's going to happen. But
true,
I wasn't on the bike.
He's a rookie as well, though, isn't he? So.
Yeah, I wasn't on the bike, like, Like, if he was pulling to the left on the street or something, then fair enough. But
yeah, fuck that.
Nearly decapitated the cameraman.
Yeah, literally. Like that could genuinely have cut someone's head off.
Yeah, it was
not even
sketchy.
joking.
Yeah, it was sketchy.
Yeah,
like, the cameraman did really well to catch it.
Yeah.
Like, round of applause, Mr. Dawn, the cameraman. I don't know who you were, but you fucking nailed it, mate.
You know who should have pitted today?
Who?
Danilo Petrucci. If he'd have pitted, mate, I think he could have freaking won it.
I don't know, because Petronas is... I pick my words carefully because I really like Petronas, but I think he's checked out. I think he's already thinking about Dakar.
True, but this is Petronas.
You've got to take risks in the wet, and I don't think he's. You got to take risks in the wet, and I don't think he's prepared to do it now. He's lost his ride.
Maybe not. Yeah, maybe he's more prepared just because he's like, screw it, I won't be here next year. I'll be on the
hey, I ride in the back fast. Nah, he's going to Dakar, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he will, to be fair. I think he will.
Yeah, you think he's already thinking about those sand dunes and thinking, it'd be better than riding this fucking pig in the wet.
Yeah. But yeah, he was really good today. I rate him. Oh, STK's just messaged me as well. I haven't even messaged him, so...
I'm impressed with Luca Marini.
Oh, yes. Marini did well. 5th place.
Yeah, like... I said to Keelan, because he messaged me about the race, I said to him, I think it would have been the most confusing feeling ever for Rossi fans if Marini had stolen the podium off Rossi, because they were like, oh no, Rossi didn't get the podium. Oh wait, but Marini did. Am I angry? Am I happy?
Yeah, like, why have you not given him the 200 podium? Like, Rossi just goes in and lamps in. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, like, I think they would have been so conflicted and confused. Like, if they'd been a robot, their head would have exploded and sparks would have come out.
Yeah. Oh, mate, it was just a mad, like, honestly, one of the best races I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, just full of chaos, watching it live, and just not knowing what the hell's going to happen,
Yeah.
I genuinely thought I was going to have a heart attack, and I'm only 23 years old.
Yeah, well, I'm 28, I'm in heart attack territory now.
Yeah, like, MotoGP, thanks for that. I think on my, I did my, like, a write-up on the race, and I'm just getting it up now. I put MotoGP, the highest level of racing, side effects, raised heart rate, temporary blindness from hiding behind the sofa, and a lost voice for shouting. If you suffer from any of the symptoms, you know you're watching the right channel. Do
you know what? Genuinely, right? At the last lap, I was watching Binder, right, and I was sweating, like genuine fear sweat. I've never been so terrified. Did you see his front tyre in the Parc Fermé photo?
Yeah.
It's done a chunking like Oliveira last weekend.
Yeah. And he still freaking won it.
Like, honestly, I think that's the best way to end this podcast. Brad Binder has massive bollocks.
Brad Binder, you are a
fucking hero.
Fucking legend.
Absolute hero, mate.
Like, you have surpassed so many expectations again, and you are just...
I think this is going to piss the Portuguese off, though.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Miguel crashed, and that's his own fault, and that's that.
Yep. I thought Miguel might be alright here this week. I think Miguel looked better, but
he's getting the Vinales syndrome, mate. He's had a kid. He's got a wife.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, the best thing you can do if you're like a professional racer looking to make it, like if you're in CEV now, right? Take heed. Stay away from women.
Okay. Yeah.
Get yourself a sock and race.
Well, stay away from. You can do stuff with women. Just be careful, mate.
No, just stay away. That's that way you take it, no risk.
Or no, we're praying for inclusivity. If
or
you
a
are
man.
homosexual, bang other men, mate, and you'll be fine, alright? Just do that.
Well, no, like, just stay away from everybody. Like, literally, when you end racing, just sit yourself in a dark room with an internet connection and just watch bike racing all the time, so it's all you focus on.
Yeah, what was it? Just getting... I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're going to say. Close that other tab. Just watch bikes.
Yeah. No, you don't. I'm going to say it off air. But I hope you've enjoyed listening to this podcast. It's been a bit of a strange one because we haven't got Gary again. I probably won't have him again next week because he's probably BSB again.
So should we call him names or should we say we miss him?
Yeah, we miss you, Gary.
How about both? We miss you, you prick.
Yeah, we miss you, no. But miss you, Gary, and your Valentino Rossi impression. That was hilarious.
Hey, I drive the bike really fast. I find it really
agree. This podcast, and we will be back next week.
Yeah, it should be a boring one next week because obviously we got a gap. So if you want to fire over any suggestions, what we want to talk about, fire them over.
Yeah, we've got Moto2 Superbikes, but you don't watch it because you hate anything that isn't prototypes. But hey ho.
Well, why would I want to watch a production bike go around the track? I could go outside and look at a production bike.
Well, you watch Moto America, so...
Yeah, but I like Moto America because I like people.
Like,
I don't want to look at Scott Redding bitching again. Oh, I'm good.
Or proposing to his wife.
Oh, God, honestly.
That was cringe.
The amount of cringe that fucking developed could have powered my house for a year.
Yeah, that was horrible.
I cringed so hard, right? I nearly ripped my fucking eyelids.
But yeah, that was horrible to watch. But anyway... I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we will be back next weekend. Goodbye.
Thanks guys.